Well, it came out like we hoped. But there is a meltdown coming. You're already seeing it with mainstream media. You're seeing it with, to be honest with you, with Democrats who thought they had power. What actually happened was people showed up at the polls in record numbers. I mean, a landslide. Now, that's great and all. I'm not a contrarian, but I'm a realist. So I'm trying to think, okay, we won. We won the House back. We've won the Senate by a few extra votes. And we have the presidency. And we still have a pretty conservative Supreme Court. Now it's time to get to work. This is only the beginning. And today we're going to talk about things that should happen, things that did happen, and now are we going to see a legacy candidate in a unity party to bring America back? Let's talk about that today, because this may be one of the most important times in American history, where one day, if the Lord allows this world to keep on staying here, that one day people could look back and say, this was when America became great again. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to The Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that's okay, but let us know what you think about the content of today's video. Today we're going to be talking about common sense and wisdom as we push forward to really 76 to 77 days before the president is actually put into office, the new president. That's a phenomenal thing. We're waking up to a better situation than we may have thought just a few weeks and months ago. But today is a beginning. We're going to talk about exactly what needs to happen. And if conservatives actually want to be the party of the people, and if conservatives really want to make America great, if America needs to be the city on a hill, they actually have to start doing something and not just talking about it. You know, we've always been so close to numbers and margins when it comes to the House and Senate that if we lost like one or two, it was over. Well, we solved that. We actually have a few extra votes. So when those rhinos want to stand up with the Democrats, we can actually still beat it. Also, even though I'm not a Mike Johnson fan, McConnell's leaving. Trump now could actually have the leadership that he's always wanted. Him and Mike Johnson are close. And remember, he may have a really big opinion when it comes to Senate Majority Leader. It's not going to be Cornyn or Thune or Ernst. Hopefully not anyway. It needs to be someone that actually wants to see America thrive. Today, let's jump into those things. Now, first, let's talk about the reality. Trump won in a landslide. I think not only did he win the Electoral College, as a Republican, he won the populist vote, which is huge. And the numbers are still not done yet. Actually, he may win more of the Electoral College and also more of the populist vote. What this shows is this is a referendum on how bad the legacy media and the Democrats had it. This shows that polls absolutely suck, because at the first point of it, they never even said Trump had a chance. You know, the only polls that actually had Trump up at these kind of numbers were the betting markets, the poly market. So this should prove that these stupid surveys that they pay all this money for, the internal polling and the betting markets actually had it right, not the polls from legacy media. What this did, it showed a referendum on how much people do not respect the legacy media. Trump made more efforts to go to the influencers, to the people that are doing the podcast, to the regular guys like us who are just filming and just talking to the American people. That's what made a difference. When all the liberals and all the legacy media was saying that Trump don't have a chance or it's going to be real neck and neck, they were all proven wrong last night. Something else that was huge, Obama, Clinton. Are they really the face of the party anymore for the Democrats? Biden didn't campaign too much for Kamala, and that's probably for the best because he'd speak out of time. But when you come back and look at it now, Monday morning quarterback this thing, you realize that Obama worked so hard. Celebrities worked so hard. Billionaire Mark Cuban worked so hard. The little beta boys from TikTok worked so hard to realize that they all sucked it up. What this proves is don't talk down to Americans. Americans want a better economy, more money in their pocket, cheaper gas, and want to see America thrive. That's what America has always been about, not being subpar to the European Union or this global order. Now that that's out of the way, I just had to get that off my chest because it shows the influence and impact of people. The people online that's actually making the impact, Twitter, Elon, they're the ones that are making the difference, not this liberal media class. All these legacy media, I mean, really it just proves that these papers and legacy media has no power anymore. Let's talk about the numbers right quick. Trump won with popular vote, 312 electoral colleges numbers most likely. There's a few that's not come in yet, but that's what it's looking like. GOP took the Senate and will regain the House. Listen to this. We defeated a $1 billion campaign, Hollywood, big tech, and big business. He took on all those establishments and won. The people won. Now here's what needs to happen. We had a lot of promises, and I know you can't fulfill every promise because, again, you are the leader of a big organization, a big establishment that needs to be cut. First and foremost, you need to close the border. First and foremost. You also need to make sure that you start building a budget and a transition team that believes like you do. I hope Trump puts him and surrounds himself with not establishment, but with people who care about what Trump wants to do. Now, does that mean that some establishment or some people that know Washington can't be in his administration? Absolutely not. I think you need some of those people, but it needs to be ones that you personally pick that believe in your initiatives, that's willing to fight for you. It's not the McConnells. It's not people like that. It needs to be people that want to see America thrive. So we need to make sure that we do no tax on tips, that we need to do no extra tax on Social Security, that we need to make sure that we're getting out of these endless wars, that we actually start deporting the criminals. It's not about going door to door. It's about when people break the law and we find out that they're illegals, they need to go back home. That's common sense, people. Most countries would believe that. You need to bring voter ID up. You're not going to get term limits, I'll be honest with you, because that's going to be a major amendment, but you work towards making port projects, lobbying, bad, not allowed anymore. You know, if you start doing that, I imagine most of these congressmen would want to go back home because they realize they can't make money while they're actually in Congress. You cut the loopholes out for congressmen to invest in inside trade. That would make a huge difference too. You want to change Washington, you start cutting Washington. You make Washington weak again. Not to where they can't have power to take over and do well across the world, as in economically and also defense-wise to defend us, but that you take the regulatory body out. Do you need the IRS? Do you actually need Department of Education? Why don't you look at doing a flat tax? If you're going to keep income tax, do a flat tax, no extra subsidies, no extra credits, and make it a flat tax, 8, 10%, 5%, whatever you come up with, still make tariffs happen, and you cut out the IRS and you don't need all the loopholes anymore. That would be huge. If you don't cut the income tax wholly, let's go to a flat tax until we cut it. Not only that, we get on sound money. There's a new report, and I think this is absolutely huge. And this is what matters. This is why you can't just talk the talk, you actually got to walk the walk. The dollar, breaking. The dollar index rises the most it's been since March of 2020 as Trump wins the election. The dollar is coming back around. So you hold on to your cash, you start using cash again, and you start seeing the fact that now people believe sound money is back. Just like Judy Skelton, who is on the transition team, who is actually one of the economic advisors of Trump in some capacity, is talking about the gold standard. Guess what? Bitcoin went up last night. Crypto went up last night. Gold held on and the dollar went up. Now, I don't like digitized currency. I told you before, Bitcoin and crypto, but I do believe this is a good move, and this is where people are showing that they don't want just government intervention in their lives anymore. So I think cash going up, I think even the parallel society, the crypto going up, even gold holding steady is all good things. The market went up, Tesla went up. There was a lot of good players yesterday. Now, will we hit road bumps and corrections? I told you this. I actually believe we will, especially when we start doing these things. And if the Republicans actually do what they say and start cutting, I actually believe you're going to see the market fluctuate a lot. But if we can control the bounce, if we can control the correction, then we can control the outcome, which will ultimately be America being great again and our money being sound again. We got to quit spending and sending our money across the world. We have to end the wars. You have to meet with Ukraine's leader and Russia's leader this week. You need to meet with China's leader this week. This stuff needs to happen to where when you walk in the doors, it's not going to be chaos. It's control. And during the transition time, you made some things happen. You start meeting with some of the European Union, and you start calling their hand at how weak they are and inept. Now here's the thing. Trump is still at risk. He needs to make sure he has the best of protection, because guess what? The world, the global people, they all wanted to go against him. They all wanted Kamala to win. Starmer, people like that. If I was Trump, me and Starmer would have a huge conversation when it comes to Britain and England and the chaos dealing with the UK. Me and Macron would have a conversation and say, look, if you two want to have any leg to stand on when it comes to power, you will quit doing these initiatives to bring in immigrants in your own areas. You start setting precedents like we're setting, or we're going to help push you out. That's what would win, because guess what? Trump is powerful with people all across the world. Think of people like Hungary, like Orban. Think of like Malay. Think of El Salvador. Think of these areas that's had a pendulum swing. We can have that effect across the world, because now people can see America can once be great again. And they can stop all these endless wars and all this endless money spent. This is our time. But here's what I do. This is our responsibility. While the liberals are melting down, while they're going to cause lawfare, while you're going to have the legacy media talk about how bad Trump is, still to this day they will do that. It's time for Republicans to gain a backbone, Trump to stand up against them and start saying, we're going to drain the swamp and this is how we're going to do it. Trump in 2016 had people like Paul Ryan. He had to deal with people like Mitch McConnell. Now it's time to say, look, you're going to have to deal with MAGA. MAGA's not just going to come to Washington. MAGA becomes Washington, because Trump has had an impact in a lot of these elections. Look at Moreno just taking over a Brown seat in Ohio. Huge. Rick Scott winning definitively. You want a good leader, of Senate Majority Leader? Why don't you look at Rick Scott or Mike Lee or Rand Paul, even Ted Cruz? Those four would actually have the best interest of America and Trump at heart, to where they can actually not push back like McConnell did. You don't need McConnell or his inner circle. Let them be rhinos and let them just go about their business. It's time to make America great. Now, a lot of promises have been made. Elon coming in to help cut. Vivek. People like Ron Paul that's coming around saying, I want to work with you. Those are wanting to make a difference. Let's let them make a difference. Man, let's put Kennedy over this food situation and the health situation, and let's make Americans healthy again. If you're listening to this and you're extremely overweight and you have a bad diet, some of that may be the fact of you not taking responsibility, but it also may be the fact that your food system is broke. Now's the time to let's clean that up. Let's make America back healthy, and let's make sure that we are doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. I put this in Republicans' hands now, though. They have let us down so much. Congress has let us down so much. Now it's time to have a backbone, and you start being the men you're supposed to be, the women you're supposed to be, and the leaders you're supposed to be. We could actually change and make the pendulum swing and make America great again. I'd love to see a great revival. I'd love to see a renaissance time in America where innovation just thrives. But it's going to take us being smart, keeping our head to the grind, and being men, and being strong, and being leaders again. Now, Republicans, it's time. Wake up and actually do what you said you're going to do. Let's dismantle the establishment. Let's cut our taxes. Let's secure our borders, and let's make our economy better again. Let's make the dollar thrive, and let's make our groceries and our gas lower. Let's drill. It's time to drill. It's time to get the Keystone Pipeline back going. It's time to make America great. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this. It was just simply saying, look, now, I mean, it's not just it wasn't a close battle. We had a true referendum last night, and now we can make America great. But it's going to take Trump holding these people accountable, putting the right people around him, and these congressmen and these Senate actually doing what they said they were going to do. Let's get to it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know. I can't wait to share this journey. I can't wait to talk about it more as we go throughout this month, the rest of this year. Don't think that the threats are not there. Trump is still going to be a target, especially for the world. It's now, you're going to see even chaos, lawfare, even on the other side. Don't think they're going to just sing kumbaya. Let's get our feet pointed in the right direction. Let's start walking. I think of a salmon. A salmon goes upriver, upstream, against the current, against the way. We have to be that. Even when it's tough, we have to stand strong. Guys, thank you for watching. If you like this content, please subscribe. Please share this message. Our goal is to grow our channel to where we can have a like-minded way, wisdom-gaining, and thought-provoking, common-sense approach to the crazy world that we live in. Guys, thank you for watching. God bless.